My Christmas tree is up.
Yes.
Yes. So we're a 1st of December family, so that's normally how that goes. That is not how it went this year. So I went away in early November. My husband and son did a clean out of the garage. Weren't sure where to put the Christmas tree, so they put it up. So it went up 3 weeks early. So my traditions in our house have been slightly disrupted, which has been an interesting thing to go through.
Did you end up decorating it together though?
Yes, we did. Okay. I did come home to an empty Christmas tree. There was no decorations on it.
It was a naked Christmas tree.
It was. It looked very lonely without its decorations.
So long as you did that one together, I guess that's made amends a little bit. So how have Christmas traditions changed over the years?
Yeah, I think the traditions have changed quite considerably in some ways, and in others it's very familiar. So lots of families will have their rituals and their routines around Christmas for those that choose to celebrate it. And we do see newer things coming through, the old elf on the shelf. I am a little bit grateful that was not a thing when my children were growing up, but I don't know, that's a lot of fun to do it. So we do see those changes in traditions. We adopt cultures from other places in terms of Christmas lights and the focus on those. So we do see lots of changes within Christmas, but of course we see that familiarity of the traditions we've held on to for a very long time as well.
And Christmas means so many different things for many different people. So I love when I hear about other people's traditions as well.
Yeah, I think that's what makes it really interesting, because we get so familiar with our own, and in our minds that's what Christmas is. And it's understanding that for some it's an early morning on Christmas Day, for others it's to sleep in. I know in Germany the presents are traditionally given on Christmas Eve. We know that focus is quite different, and I agree. I think celebrating Christmas in lots of different ways is part of what makes it so unique.
Why do people create those different traditions around Christmas?
Yeah, I think we do it because I think for that familiarity. And I think the other thing that it does is it's a very comfortable space for those that celebrate and enjoy the Christmas traditions, or what's coming next. And so there's a little bit of build up for that as well, and again, it's all going to be about how we manage some of that, because obviously what we hope Christmas is a joyful time to be with family and to be with loved ones, and not add too much of the pressure onto ourselves that it has to be something that we see in the movies or that's stylised, that we know
it
doesn't
very romanticised.
Oh, absolutely, and we know that probably doesn't really exist for anyone. So it's making it our own and a space that we feel comfortable in.
Yeah, the only consistency I think at Christmas is a bit of chaos. We do know that the supermarkets and shopping centres decorate as soon as Halloween is over, but there might be a reason why people are decorating earlier too.
Yeah, I think people will do that for a range of reasons, and it's that comfortableness around Christmas and that good feeling that it brings about for lots of people. We can look at some of the shops and so forth and see that they're potentially doing that also from a commercial angle, because I'm very sure come the 26th of December we'll be seeing hot cross buns in the shops as well. But we do see that come early. I was in Papua New Guinea in October, and the shopping centre there was putting up the Christmas tree. So it can certainly start very early for some places. So we do see those differences.
Yes, it can be seen as an early celebration, or it can be seen as a nudge.
Yes.
Like you were talking about last week.
That's right.
What about people who maybe prefer not to decorate or not to celebrate?
Yeah, and again, it's personal choice, isn't it, about what people feel more comfortable with. People might use this as a time to spend time with lots of family, or they might choose this as a time to a little bit of self-preservation and a bit of quiet time for yourself as well. I know some people that enjoy the solitude of Christmas Day. So we do see varieties of that. And I think that's what's important for us all to remember, is that people will celebrate this in lots of different ways, and to understand that our way isn't necessarily the way that everyone else will go with.
What sparks the joy of the holiday season, do you think?
I think there's a range of factors that will do that. We talked about the nostalgia of it and the role that it has with the family. And I guess for a lot of people, it's the wind down time at the end of the year. So I was talking to someone the other day and they said it's only 5 days, but it's a 5-day break for them. And of course, full kudos to those who are working through Christmas. So we need to acknowledge all those superheroes that are doing that as well. But it's those familiar sights and scents and the music that we associate with Christmas and so forth. So it can. We know that all of those elements can change our mood, and that can be really helpful for us.
Now to presents. What motivates that generosity that we do see a lot of over Christmas time?
Yeah, it's been a tradition, hasn't it, for a long time, that it's a gift-giving time. And there is that notion of reciprocating with presents. It can be an opportunity very much to be generous to others. And that doesn't necessarily mean it has to be an expensive gift. And in fact, sometimes it's the handmade ones or the ones that have had a little bit of care, and the drawing that your 4-year-old brings home from kindy that you frame is as cherished as anything else that might be more commercial. There is an unspoken obligation at Christmas time to reciprocate with gifts, but we know that in some ways that this taps into what we know about happiness, and what we know about happiness is doing things for others is what makes us happy. So if we can volunteer at Christmas time, if we can give baking for other people, those sorts of things, there's as much joy, if not more joy, in doing those things for others as well.